the roller coaster cut the circulation off in my thighs. My usual workout in the morning, weight training, and I decided just to come out and take a walk and shoot some content while I'm doing it. So that's what I'm doing. Topic of the day. What was my wake-up call to lose weight? What was my wake-up weight loss call? And I know this may be triggering for individuals. So if some of you are struggling with certain type of mental health illnesses or ailments, and this can be triggering for you, please move on to another video. I definitely don't want you to be negatively impacted. But I'm going to share what was my wake-up call to change my life. So I was at one of my favorite amusement parks. I'm a roller coaster rider, y'all. I definitely gets it in. I hit the rides, I hit the water park, all of that, but especially the coasters. Now at 284 pounds, you would think that would pretty much be challenging, but I mean, I still made every effort, every discomfort effort, okay? So the efforts were not comfortable, but I still would try an air of confidence and trying to just to maintain being who I am, what I am, and accepting what it is. Thinking I could just live life as I am, at the size I am, and it just be okay, and forget about anybody's thoughts or my health or my mental health as well. So, approaching one of my rides, I was able to get on a ride. I wasn't stopped like some people are, unfortunately, stopped to get on, from getting on a ride because of their weight. I made it to the ride, and it was one of those rides where your legs are hanging. So your thighs have to be individually in each section. So it's not just an open area. You know what I'm saying? Your legs are constrained. That's where the discomfort came. My thighs were hurting badly. I felt like the ride was cutting off the circulation in my legs. But I did not want to embarrass myself by getting off of the ride. Because me being a realist, I know how it is, and I know others' judgments and thoughts. I pretty much could perceive, oh, she's getting off the ride because she can't fit, or they're making her get off the ride. I didn't want to draw any type of attention to myself. So I'm a type of female, I'm like, I'm gonna chalk it up. As long as I'm secure on this ride, I'm gonna get through the ride. So I'm on a ride. We take off. I couldn't even really enjoy the ride because I was in that much pain. I just wanted the ride to end. I was like, okay, hurry up, let's get this ride over with. I was crying on the inside. I literally was crying, not just because of the pain, but also because of the state that I am in, the physical state, how this weight is interfering with me being social, me having fun at the level that I want to have fun. And it's putting me in awkward situations. It's making me feel awkward. It's making me feel type of ways. But of course, on the ride, I'm not expressing that. When we get off the ride, because I was around others, but playing it off when you're around people too, right? You don't release that type of vulnerability. At least I don't release that type of vulnerability out in public, and especially at that size. Always try to maintain some type of false sense of confidence. So I get off the ride, still holding it in because there's nowhere I really can go, to really let out. But at a point, I did emotionally let out. I emotionally released in tears, crying. And at that point, that day, I made up my mind. I said, I'm not going to continue in this body this way. I'm not going to continue in this size. I'm going to move forward in a more promising and healthy situation. I'm going to revamp my lifestyle. I'm going to lose some weight. I'm going to learn how to eat, learn what to eat for this to work, and I'm going to maintain the weight loss. I made my mind up then at 284 after feeling humiliated, secretly humiliated, because this wasn't public. It was just secret humiliation of not being able to properly fit on a ride and riding it in discomfort. And I know other people have many other stories where they could resonate with the ride thing, or they could resonate in some way of feeling discomfort in the size they are in public. I mean, and that's not my only story. I mean, that just was the last straw. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. I was just like, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I cannot continue to move along this way. There has to be change. When was your change? When was your wake-up call? When did you come to terms? Like, this is real. There's a lot of trauma behind obesity. And especially when you have dealt with it most of your life, you have grown with it. It was on you in your adolescence up until adulthood. There are a lot of triggering and post-traumatic events that have occurred for me and for many other people that has shaped their view of health forever. And I know for me, it shaped my view of health forever. Like, I know I would never allow myself to get to a certain weight again. I know what to do, how to practice healthy living, healthy lifestyle changes. I know how to eat. I know how to moderate my servings. I know how to do little tips and tricks and fasting. I just know what to do. Because going back to that life, I'm just going to leave it like that. It's very traumatic. Even when it comes to bullying. I've been bullied most of my adolescent life by peers, dealing with uncomfortable weight endoisms with the family. We all, come on, let's keep it real. If you brave enough, drop in the comment and tell me your story. What was your wake-up call? Or an event that bothered you as a result of your weight, you being overweight, or your obesity. Your situations of discomfort by other people making you uncomfortable. I'm telling you, I can go on and on. This is definitely a part 1, guys. And this is like a vent releasing series for me. So, like I said, if this is triggering, I'm not intending it to be triggering for anyone. But if anything, healing. Because I know a lot of y'all can resonate. My obesity community, come on, where we at? Where y'all at? Because just because I lost this weight and still going to be, trying to get to a certain weight does not mean my heart is not still there. I will forever be big-hearted. I will forever be, and don't take this the wrong way, I'll forever be a fat girl in a small body. I will forever be that. And I'm not against it. And I'm not meaning it in a negative way. I will always be plus size at heart. I can relate. I know the struggle. I know how this is a condition, a disease. I know how it's completely connected into mental health as well. I mean, it's just layers to this. So I understand. Y'all, because I am y'all. Regardless of me making such a change and losing pretty much 139 pounds and still counting. Oh, there was another, y'all, I had another situation, y'all. I remember this. I'll never forget these incidents. I will never forget these incidents. Some are private. This one particularly. I was in a dressing room. I'm not gonna say the store. Yes, they carried my size. That wasn't the issue. But I had a breakdown in the dressing room. Just went in there looking for something to wear, felt good and confident, because what person or woman in general doesn't feel good going into the store, you know, trying to pick out something cute. I wanted to go do something and just wanted to have something fresh on or whatever, you know, being me and up to date and trend and just trying to do something different. I think it was like a Saturday or something. So went browsing and I'm like, okay, let me grab a couple things. Going, I think it was a dress and some jeans. Really was into dresses. So I was really trying to get, you know, get with the silhouette, hug the curves that I had. You know what I'm saying? Try to gain the confidence through that and still be bomb as a big girl. You know what I'm saying? And wear it, because that's confidence I had to always wear. Because I was always pretty for a big girl. That was my title. Okay? So back to the store. Okay. Trying the clothes on. It was the jeans. I thought they were my size, and I thought they were the appropriate stretch. Or was it an 18 or a 20? I can't remember. I was up there though. I was up there in sizes, because my highest size was in the 20s. So I'm thinking it's gonna fit. I'm thinking it had enough stretch. I couldn't get it past a certain part up here on my hip. That started to psychologically break me down in the dressing room. Okay? Tried on a dress. It wasn't fitting me the way I wanted to fit. Instead, I'm seeing the bulging, the protruding of my rolls, and I turn to the side and I see the fupa and gut hanging. Look, I got too much going on. I'm not. Don't take offense, folks. Don't take offense. I'm just being real. This is my experience and how I felt about myself at that time. Slowly leading up to my breaking points for the final weight loss call to change my life, to commit to health and wellness, to focus on fitness. I cried in that dressing room, not notably, like, you know, no one had to come in and said, are you okay? But I broke down discreetly in there. Pulled it together, because I had sunglasses, whatever, pulled it together and walked out. I don't believe I made a purchase that day. I was just through. I felt defeated that day. And those are like one and two of many moments that I've had of borderline depression as a result of my weight. Depression from what I've allowed myself to become. Depression from the judgments of others. Because unfortunately, we are in a society where people are rude, people are judgmental. sometimes people can't keep their feelings to themselves, especially when it comes to someone being overweight and obese. I mean, for a long time in my adolescence, I dealt with, like I said, pretty for a big girl. Oh, I'm not gonna date you, but I'm gonna try to talk to you behind the scenes. I like you when nobody around, because you real good person and you are attractive. Like, you know, it wasn't like as a big girl I wasn't attractive. Like I threw it on well, and I always had my hair some way. Before I had locks, I was into the shortcuts too, like dyeing my hair. Everything was just always on point. With that, I was just a big girl. She's a big girl, you know? And I mean, I was still well proportioned in my opinion too. I had a little boom and all that, but I had a little front gut and all that too. And after a point, you know, the pals start piling on, and even that silhouette I thought I had, stuff started getting displaced a little, you know, because more weight was accumulating and I was losing control. I was approaching 300 pounds in a minute. When I saw the scale at 284, that was a call as well. I said, listen, how far are you gonna go, Jazz? Because obviously something, you think you're not eating too much, but you're not doing something. You need to do a full analysis. You need to stop and you need to make a change. Because in a minute, you're gonna be 300 pounds, and then in a minute, you're gonna be 320, and then in a minute, you're gonna be 350, and then you'll be 400. Listen, and it happens so fast. And then at a point, you'll be like, forget it. I'm just going to be complacent in the body I am because of depression. And because those moments of happiness only come through food. And that's all, that will be all I would start to live for. I will really start to mentally decompensate. So, I mean, me sharing this with you all is really just to connect, to heal. It's part of healing for me. This is therapeutic for me, to be honest with you. It really is. I have a space where I can release this information instead of just keep it in my head. And this information resonates with so many people. I'm just a person on the tube sharing it. Because I'm telling you, whether it's weight related or not, it's ailment related, people who have been tormented and bullied never forget being bullied. That's something you try to put behind you, but it's something that it's a post-traumatic event or events that you will never forget. And unfortunately, one of the highest reasons for bullying is behind obesity in the schools. So my heart really goes out to the teens and the younger kids who are dealing with weight issues, and you know, and they have to still manage their way socially in an unfriendly climate at school, because I know how that feels. You know what I'm saying? I never ate food in the bathroom, but some people have went to that level. Like, they don't eat lunch, or they eat lunch in the bathroom, if you've seen on the movies. I never did that. But I tell you one thing, I never ate lunch. I had a fear of people watching me eat. And that fear was people's judgment on whether I should be eating or not. And I know y'all resonate with that. Whether you should be eating or not. Oh, you can't sit down to this regular lunch like your peer is sitting down to a regular lunch. You can't, because it's normal for that peer to eat. But for you, who may be 2 times the size of that peer, you eating is a monstrosity. Is an event, a circus event. It's something to be awed at. It's something for other people to be concerned about and to misjudge and to like forwardly approach you on stuff too. Some people are really bold. That's what I'm saying. The torment the entitlement and audacity of individuals bullying is ridiculous, and especially bullying in the climate of obesity upon the youth. It's hard to deal with. I mean, that's why I really push for psychologists in school, like more than just one. Like you need, I mean, that can deal with different situations, bariatric issues, like obesity issues, how you deal with these kids. These kids will stop coming to school because they're being tormented. Their grades would decline because they're overweight and they're being bullied about being overweight. Just about anything else, whether it's your sexuality or you have a disability or whatever. But I'm just, I'm not Xing that out or any of that out. I'm including it, but right now this topic is really specifically on obesity. So that's what I'm pretty much highlighting. Y'all, just doing this video and reflecting, it's so real. And it's refreshing for me. It really is. It's like release. And you know what? It's funny. Is a lot of people who have experienced bullying from their adolescence on up for whatever reason, right? Seems to excel in life later on in ways. In appearance, in health, in fitness, in career. But the bulliers, maybe 7 times out of 10, end up declining in life. They end up becoming overweight, obese, other conditions, unemployed, or the lack of fulfillment for being employed in the right career. Just all types of things, divorce, just all types of stuff. It just seems like, of course, the rooster comes back to him. At the end of the day, God has his vengeance. I believe that strongly. And that's why, it seems that those who have been victims of bullying, those who have been tormented for being obese and when they do change their life, most of the time, they do make lifestyle changes. The bulliers are the ones that need to make a lifestyle change. The bulliers are the ones that are pretty much at the bottom of society's pole. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I don't know how I got way off. Y'all see, I start talking, my spirit just start leading me verbally, okay? And I can derail right off the topic, y'all, slightly. But anyway, well, I never ate in the bathroom. But I did touch it. I always skipped lunch. I skipped lunch. I would go in the cafeteria, but I wouldn't eat. I used to sell donuts in the cafeteria. I used to be on my entrepreneur bag. I used to be like, look, let me just go and sell some stuff and make some money. I tried to disassociate myself with food often, definitely in public. And when I was at home, I ate, but I felt like I ate like a normal person, so I really couldn't wrap my head around why I was overweight, obese. I never really could wrap my head around it, to be honest with you. Now that I am smaller in frame, and I do have a smaller appetite, controlled appetite, I'm like, what really was I doing wrong then? And I think it just was probably the bad choice of foods. And not necessarily overeating, but just eating the wrong foods. Y'all, I mean, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I'm gonna do another part to this. It's gonna be a little series, because I'm just sharing my personal life with you guys. But like I said, it probably was just eating the wrong things. Y'all, I grew up in the church. and all that. Every Sunday, Monday through Sunday, you know, we fully in it, you know, because my father was a pastor. So we had our own church and all of that. So, you know, and heavy in after church meals and going to the buffet on Sundays, Ryan's, you know, this was in Louisiana. You know, like this was a church cultural thing. There was always plates being made. It's a kitchen in the church and plates are made. Somebody always cooking up potlucks for an event at the church, or somebody cooking up potlucks for a convention. So there's always cakes and pies, butt cakes on deck. And you know you got fried chicken, smothered pork chops. You got gravy, mashed potatoes and gravy. You got rice. You got potato salad. You got ribs, collard greens that's cooked in pork neck bones, and bacon grease. Okay, this old school stuff. You got this heavy, dense, rich soul food, church soul food on a regular basis. So for me, I don't think it was overeating. I think it was just eating the wrong foods. The foods that were full of saturated fats, oils, not the plant-based oils. Too much of oil. You talking about Crisco's, canola oil. My God, like when I think about it, it's like, what? Really? And as a child, you not mindful of any of that. I'm just sitting down and eating with the plate presented in front of me. Hot water cornbread. You know what I'm saying? You eating this on a weekly basis. Cause mama first lady, mama cooking. And we eating good and we eating hearty. Then you got the major meals, the Thanksgivings, the Christmas holidays, pastor anniversaries. You know, it's always something going on in the church. And with events come food, especially back in the 90s, y'all. I'm talking back then. Okay? So I understand why my weight was where it is. As I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, because I never really was a person that just kept going back for seconds. I wasn't. So me being overweight was just confusing. I ate snacks and here and there like other kids, but I never like overdid it. And because I was big, I was always cognizant of not even really trying to eat around my friends and stuff, because I didn't want people to look at me funnier than they already did. So I was always, you know, trying to eat in private when I ate, stuff like that. So like, yo, understanding this obesity is crazy, but eye-opening and ever-changing, and cause for reflection. To really understand, you have to reflect back in time and how it has affected you, how it has changed you. And I think a large part of that was the focal point of Oprah Winfrey's Making the Change, I believe is what it's called. I think it was a YouTube show. That show she released and she made it available on YouTube. Very impactful. And I think she was sharing things, you know, pretty much along the same lines. People sharing stories. Because this stuff is real. It's real life. It's a condition. It's a disease, and it's something that you have to work through. Honestly, I think work through indefinitely. Like for me, I know I'm always going to be weight conscious. I'm always going to be calorie cognizant, carb cognizant. So that's why I'm so grateful for this GLP-1 medication, because it gives you that affordability to really get grounded in them lifestyle changes. And then as you approach your goal, then you don't have to just get off of it, Coach. You can just be on a lower dose just to stay on maintenance. And some people need that. And I know I'm one of them who does. I want to have the maintenance as an option. As long as there are no like serious long-term effects that come about. We don't know yet because those studies have not been determined yet. But I mean, as long as my blood work continues to come back the way it needs to come back, I'm good. I'm good. I'm maintain on it and continue my healthy lifestyle. It's so beautiful out here, y'all. Well, let me go, y'all. I'm gonna get at y'all the next video, okay? Remember, be real, boo.